Hey guys, I'm back again and I'm here to do a huge book haul. Okay, now, I didn't buy all these books in the past month. These are books that I have been acquiring since last year, the month of September-ish. So I've got quite the stack here. So I wanted to share these with you now. I have not really been, like purchasing tons of books or anything. I've just been sort of eyeing things as the year has gone on, trying to figure out which things I would, really like to purchase. But at the same time, I have been trying to do some serious culling on my bookshelves and to try to get that in order. So it's been a lot of pulling off, the dead weight off the shelves. Either books that I have already read and don't deem as 4.5, 5-star books or 4-star books, and also books that I have not read that I probably will never read. So that's where I am right now. As a matter of fact, I have right here in front of me a huge box of books that I have put in the get rid of quick books. Let me know, thumbs up, or just say, yeah, you're being interested in seeing that. Some of the books that I am unhauling. I've never done an unhaul video, so let me know if you're interested in that, and I will provide. Okay, so grab yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and let's get started because that list is long. I'm feeling this video is going to be long. Sorry. Anyway, all right, let's get started. So the first book on my list is J.J. Bolla's The Selfless Act of Breathing. Now, I just love this freaking cover. J.J. Bolla, I read his debut novel, and I really, really enjoyed his style of writing and what he writes about. And so when I saw this one came out, I purchased this one last year. I think it was in maybe November or something like that. This is the UK edition from Dialogue Books, and as soon as I saw it, I grabbed it. And let me read a little bit of what it's about. Michael decides to flee to America and end his life once all his savings run out. The sweeping story is told through the eyes of a young Londoner who seems to have it all: a promising future, a solid career, strong friendships, a blossoming love story, but it's the unbearable weight of life that leads him to decide to take his own. As he grapples with the issues bigger than himself, Michael seeks his place within a world that is complex and unwelcoming. Although he finds solace in the people who surround him, Michael alone is the only one who can decide if his life is worth living. So yeah, this one I have a feeling is going to be extremely interesting to see how he pulls this one off. Okay, the next book I have on my list is A Down-Home Meal for These Difficult Times, which is a short story collection from Miran Hadero. Okay, this is Miran Hadero right here. Miran is the AKO Kane Prize 2021 winner, and she's the first Ethiopian to win the prize. And this is her short story collection, which was sent to me by Restless Books. Come on, Restless Books, with the the really good arcs. Now, I did not ask them to send this to me. They sent it to me with I didn't know they were sending it. Let's see. This book is slated to be released. Oh, it's coming out in May. The release date is May 2022. So look out for this one. I'm definitely going to be reading this arc before May 2022. I really enjoyed the story that she wrote for the AKO Kane Prize. It was very, very good. And I actually thought that she would win, and she won. So I can't wait to get to this one. I'm going to try to read a short story collection a month. We're going to see how that goes. All right. The next book I have on my list is Emotional Female by Yumika Kadoda. This book was gifted to me by Blackwell's. Thank you, Blackwell's. I wanted to order this book, but they didn't have it in stock. It hadn't arrived yet. I don't know what the deal is about Western bookshops not, you know, getting in the Australian books. I don't know what's going on with that, but that needs to change. Because I saw my friend Jacqueline from 6 Minutes for Me interviewing Yumiko Kadota on Instagram, and she was talking about this particular book, and I wanted to read it. And it is a book that discusses the difficulty for her to practice and become a surgeon, because there are not a lot of women surgeons, and the difficulty that she had doing that, and all of the pressure that it put on her, and how eventually it made her quit. So I wanted to read this one to really see, you know, even more in detail what it's all about. So, Emotional Female. The next book I have on my list is Lauren Groff's Matrix. Now, this is a book that I have purchased specifically because I am doing the Book 2 prize for the last year. And I'm in Group D, and so this is one of the books we had to read. I wanted to read this one in physical copy so that I could read a little bit closer. For some reason, I don't feel like I read close enough when I read on Kindle. So this one is one of the required reading that I have for this month and for March. So I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy this, because I did not enjoy Lauren Groff's first book. I didn't enjoy that book. It was on the Obama book list, but I was like, Obama, what? What you talking about? This is on your best book list. I don't get it. But anyway, this book, it says 17-year-old Marie, too wild for courtly life, is shown to the dogs one winter morning, expelled from the royal court to become the prioress of an abbey. Marie is strange, tall, a giantess. Her elbows and knees stick out, ungainly. At first taken aback by life at the abbey, Marie finds purpose and passion among her mercurial sisters. Yet she deeply misses her secret lover, Cicely, and Queen Eleanor. So we're going to see what this is all about. Okay, my next book is The Committed by Viet Thanh Nguyen. And this is the second book to The Sympathizer, which came out a few years ago. And I'm going to be reading The Sympathizer with my book club here in Normandy, the 4th of March. So sadly, I was obligated to purchase this hardcover because he didn't have the paperback. It's not coming out until mid-March. So this was a recent purchase because I'm going to be getting to this real soon. Sequel, you need to read The Sympathizer, so read The Sympathizer, and you can come on over and read The Committed. My next book is this big boy right here, which is The Love Songs of W.B. Du Bois by Honoré Fannin Jeffers. Okay, so this is probably the most epic novel that's come out in the past 6 months, I think-ish. Because I think her book came out last year in November or October. I'm not sure. And it was an Oprah Book Club pick. So it's got that Oprah sticker. But I'm covering it because I don't want to see that. So I got this copy from Waterstones. And it is a signed copy. So this is a family saga. And it says the great scholar W.B. Du Bois once wrote about the problem of race in America and what he called double consciousness, a sensitivity that every African American possesses in order to survive. Since childhood, Ailey Pearl Garfield has understood Du Bois' words all too well. Ailey is reared in the North in the city, but spends summers in the small Georgia town of Chickasetta, where her mother's family has lived since their ancestors arrived from Africa in bondage. Since she was a child, Ailey has fought a battle for belonging that is made all the more difficult by hovering trauma and the whisper of women, her mother Belle, her sister Lydia, and a maternal line reaching back 2 centuries, who urge Ailey to succeed in their stead. So, yeah, this one I cannot wait to get to, but it's going to be, I'm going to have to do a constant, dedicated commitment, because with these kind of size books, you really need to get yourself on a schedule and stick to it. So, love songs. Okay, the next book on my list is The How Notes on the Great Work of Meeting Yourself by Yarsadali Ward. Now, Yarsadali Ward is a poet, and the only book of collection of poems that I've read by her is called Bone, which I highly recommend. I've read that one at least 2 or 3 times since purchasing the book. I really, really enjoy her poetry. And this is kind of feels like a little self-help-ish, but it could be probably, really interesting to get through this, because it says, suppose you were to meet yourself. Note the self you've built up and shaped over the years to please others. But your truest, most intimate self, the one that dreams and desires, that makes you feel alive. Here, Yarsadali Ward, the poet and writer, whose words have resonated with hundreds of thousands of readers around the world, shows you how. Through a mix of notes, lists, prompts, exercises, meditations, and poetry, Yarsa encourages us to join her as she explores how we can all remove our filters and discover more of who we really are. So this was gifted to me by Penguin, and so I will definitely be trying to get through this. At the moment, I am reading through The Artist's Way very slowly, and so I think this would be a good accompaniment to that. Okay, the next book on my list is Elif Shafak's The Island of Missing Trees. Now this one, I purchased last year when it came out, and I was very excited about it, and unfortunately I didn't get a chance to read it. This is the Penguin UK edition, and it turns out that in Group D of the BookTube prize, I have to read this one, so that falls really well. So now I will be getting to this one fairly soon as well, because I have to be reading February and March, the books. So this one, it says, it is 1974 on the island of Cyprus. 2 teenagers from opposite sides of a divided land meet at a tavern in the city they both call home. The tavern is the only place that Kostas, who is Greek and Christian, and Define, who is Turkish and Muslim, can meet in secret, hidden beneath the blackened beams from which hang garlands of garlic, chili peppers, and wild herbs. This is where one can find the best food in town, the best music, the best wine. But there is something else to the place. It makes one forget, even if for just a few hours, the world outside and its immoderate sorrows. So it sounds like a kind of a Romeo and Juliet situation. So I'm kind of interested to see what she's going to do with this, because she has a very interesting outlook on things. So that one. Okay, the next 4 books I have here are from the Rougon Macau series in French. So I have La Fortune de Hugong, La Curée, Le Ventre de Paris, and La Conquête de Plassans. Okay, so these 4 are the first 4 of that series. This is a series of 20 books. I will be reading 1 a month until I finish the entire series, and I'm buddy reading this with my friend Anna. So we decided to read these because we both had the desire to see what the whole collection was. I mean, I had read a couple of these, but they're further back in this collection. But I hadn't read it from the beginning, so I'm really thrilled. So we've already read this one, La Fortune de Hugong. Excellent. We gave that one 4.5 stars. And we just finished this one, La Curée, which I gave this one 5 stars. So did Anna. This is an excellent book. So next month, we're moving on to Le Ventre de Paris. If you're interested in reading these books and you don't read in French, you can purchase these books and read them in English, because they all have been translated. So yeah, so I purchased these last year. These are all the folio collection, which is a common pocket-sized book collection here in France, and I love folio. And I purchased these at Fnac, I live in France, so I purchased these online, and they're very inexpensive. So they range anywhere from 4 to 7 euros, which I feel like that is an excellent price for books, but that's what France be doing. They want everybody to read. So the next 5 books you have here were a gift from my friend Latrice, Jersey Femme, over on Instagram. Thank you again, girl. I can't stop thanking you. It's just too much. You just do so much for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So these next 5 books were from her. This list, wait till you see this list though. So she gifted me this one, which is Before I Forget, Leonard Pitts Jr. Now y'all know how I love me some Leonard Pitts Jr. So I already read The Last Thing You Surrender, Freeman. I'm currently reading Grant Park with the Read So Live book club, my book club over on Patreon, and we're loving it. And we're getting Leonard Pitts Jr. He's coming to talk to us about the book. And so this would be the last one that I would have to really get to. So thank you. So this one is an older book that he wrote. This one came out in 2009, I think it is. So it says, Before I Forget is a man's story, and Leonard Pitts Jr. tells it with all the truth and passion we don't always have the courage or confidence to express. I saw myself in this mighty book, strong and weak, but mostly human. And this was a quote from Eddie Levert Sr., who's the lead singer of the OJs. So yes, so this is going to be an interesting read, I think. So the next one on the list is Butter Honey Pig Bread. Now this book right here has been everywhere on Instagram. I mean, it's just the biggest read. I think it came out last year, or was it in 2020? I'm not sure. Let me see. Yeah, it came out last year. And everybody raves about how good this book is. So this book, I have refused to read the synopsis or anything like that because I didn't heard so many people say how good the book is without telling me what it's about. So I feel like I'm going to do the same thing to you. I'm going to do like what they do to me is they tell me how good the book is. And then, you know, they don't say what it's about. So, but it's a beautiful cover, and it did win the 2021 Canada Reads, which it must be good because that's kind of rigorous at Canada Reads because they just be knocking out books like that are really excellent. And they wind up with one really excellent book at the end. And it also won the Giller Prize as well. Well, I didn't win the Giller Prize. It got onto the long list of the Giller Prize. So, yeah. So this is the book that was the most talked about on I would say it's the most talked about book on IG, on Instagram last year. Okay, this one is The Age of Phyllis by Honoré Fannin Jeffers. So this is the other poetry collection that I was talking about. Now, this one I could not get from France. Like nowhere could I get a copy of this book. And then when I could get it, they wanted me to pay like 50 euros to get the copy. I was like, what? Like craziness. So my friend Jersey Femme so kindly gifted this one to me, and I cannot wait to read this one. But I will not read this one probably until after I finish reading Love Songs. I'm going to read Love Songs first, and then I'll circle back to the poetry. But this one is supposed to be really good. It says, in the shadow of the American Revolution, a young African-American woman named Phyllis Wheatley published a book of poetry, poems on various subjects, religious and moral, 1773. When Wheatley's book appeared, it would challenge Western prejudices about African and female intellectual capabilities. Her words would astound many and irritate others, but one thing was clear. This young woman was extraordinary. Based on 15 years of archival research, The Age of Phyllis by award-winning poet and writer Honoré Fannin Jeffers imagines the life and times of Wheatley. Her childhood with her parents in the Gambia, West Africa, her life with her white American owners, her friendship with Obor Tanner, her marriage to the enigmatic John Peters, and her untimely death at the age of about 31. So Can't wait to get to this one. Beautiful cover, and I'm sure this is going to be a 5-star read. The next book on this list is The Mother by Yvette Edwards. Now, as you know, we had a read-along of Yvette Edwards the month of October, last October, for the Read So Lit read-along in honor of Black History Month UK. We read Yvette Edwards' A Cupboard Full of Coats, which was excellent. So this is the other book that she had out, and this one is from, let's see, this one is from 2016. This book was good. It had me on the edge. It was a really, really good book. It says, today Marcia is heading to the Old Bailey. She's going there to do something no mother should ever have to do. Attend the trial of the boy accused of her son's murder. She's not meant to be that woman. Ryan, her son, wasn't that kind of boy. But Tyson Manley is that kind of boy. And his trial unfolds. It becomes clear that Marcia's greatest hope for closure lies with Manley's girlfriend, Sweetie. But can Sweetie be trusted? This, I tell you, this story was really, really interesting to read, and it is mostly told from the mother's point of view, and it's just so well done. Ugh, it got me in all the, emotions, and it had me on the edge of my seat. So, so, so good. And last but not least, I have this beauty, Black Futures, which is edited by Kimberly Drew and Jenna Wortham. And this has like a ton of, things having to do with Black America, all from art, publicity, video, all kinds of things in this book. And so it's like a compilation of various different things. I can't wait to start actually reading through this one. I will probably be reading through this one throughout the year because it's the kind of thing like that. This is sort of like a coffee table book. So I can't wait to go through this because I quickly skimmed through some aspects of it when it first arrived, and I was just blown away by this book. So yeah, thanks again, Latrice, for all of that. So that was all of the books that I have acquired in the past six-ish months. I hope you enjoyed that. I will let you know about some of the ones that I let you know about some of the ones that I've read already. I will probably come back with a video specifically for the Rougon Macau series because this one is like a major reading project for me this year. So that you would definitely see. If you want to see any of these specific in-depth reviews of any of my books, they are now over on my Patreon. It's a very inexpensive tier, so you can join there and you can see some of my reviews. Other than that, if you would like to join the Read So Lit book club, you can do that as well. The link for my Patreon is below. So thanks for watching. Please let me know if you want to see that unhaul video, because I don't know about these unhaul videos, which y'all think. If you want to see the unhaul video, drop it below. Let's chat. Let me know what you're reading at the moment, and I'll see you with my next video real soon. Bye-bye.